Today we're going to be ranking WWE tag teams, current teams, and altering some of them because some of them are kind of factions, not really tag teams. We are going to have a ton of fun with this one. My name is Andrew from What's Good in Wrestling. What's going on with you guys? I hope you guys will enjoy this video. If you love wrestling videos, wrestling content, a new podcast coming soon on this channel, make sure to like this video and subscribe. We're going to have a lot of fun, and I can't wait to get into this video. So like I mentioned, you guys are going to see on the screen some WWE tag teams and some factions. Now, this is just a tier maker that I pulled off of the website, so thank you to the person that created this. But there's some teams here that kind of don't really make sense anymore, and some of them that are factions, so we're going to be like adding and subtracting here, and I think that you guys will probably agree with me, and if you don't, sound off in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. So let's get this started. The first tag team here that we see is the Brawling Brutes. Now, Ridge Holland, Butch, Sheamus, of course, Sheamus being a first ballot Hall of Famer one day. This is a good team. Now, we haven't seen a ton from them, really. Ridge Holland and Butch have been in NXT. They've been working while Sheamus is doing his own thing. I believe he's off right now. I think he might be injured. I know there's some contract stuff that is going on there. I think his last match that we've seen him was against Edge in Edge's retirement match. So I'm not really sure what Sheamus is doing right now, but we're going to rank him anyways because he's still a part of the company, still a part of the WWE. But we'll see how long this team lasts because I'm not really sure they're going to stick around with it. I think I've been debating on where to put them, but for now, I'm going to put them in the B category. Now, if you're in S tier, it means you're like goated right now. It means like you're literally insane. And you're going to see there's no Usos on here because they're technically broken up. I know Cody and Jay are a team right now, but I'm not really going to include them because they just started teaming. So if Cody and Jay were in this, I'd put them in A, but technically they just started. So I'm not really sure if I should have them in here. But like I mentioned, I'm going to leave Sheamus, Ridge, and Butch as a faction, the Brawling Brutes. I'm going to leave them in here in the B category. I think that they deserve to be there. They're very good, but not in the A or S category. I changed my mind. I'm putting Cody and Jay in this. You guys can see the photo here. We might as well just talk about them right now. So what do you want to talk about? Yeet. I can't believe I just did that on video. But Cody and Jay are the tag champs, so you got to put them in A. If we're talking S, we got to, like I said, we got to talk about GOATed teams. And I don't think that there's any current WWE tag teams that I would put in the GOAT conversation because, listen, you can talk about New Day. We'll get to them a little bit later, but we are talking about currently, and I don't think they're in the S tier category. But as the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, I feel like we had to have Cody and Jay in here. I talked myself into it, so they're in the A category. Next up is the Viking Raiders, and I actually think they're insanely talented. I know Ivar's been having some bangers by himself recently, but they're still a tag team. We got to have them in here, and I'm also going to be putting them in the B category. Now, I feel like maybe with some better booking and maybe letting them do their thing without all of the theatrics and stuff, that maybe they would be connecting more with the fans. But for now, I think that it's fair to say that they're a really good team, but they've got to be in the B category. I don't see them as an A team right now, even though they're extremely talented. I like the Viking Raiders. I'd love to see them back in the title contention type stuff, but we'll have to see. For now, I'm putting them in B. As you can see on here, Hit Row is on here, but they are no longer, so they're going to be in the D category. And this is no disrespect to any of them, but Hit Row as a faction, it just didn't work. In NXT, it was fine, but they've obviously gotten rid of some people, if you know what I mean, that should probably still be with the company. And it's not that they're bad, it's just I didn't think that they really connected with the audience, and I don't think it ever worked. Coming up next on this tier list is two of my favorites, and one of them is like top 3 for me, and that's Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I love Kevin Owens. I think he's fantastic. I love everything he's done, and I do love Sami as well. I think he's amazing as well. I've been following them since their indie days in ROH. You can see the photo still has them as the champs, but of course they are not the champions. They haven't been champs for a while, actually, so this has got to be updated. But Sammy and KO are a really, really good team. They've won gold. They're very talented, both of them individually and as a team. So they're in the A category. This makes too much sense. They work well together. They've been working together forever. I mean, if they kept going and they kept going on a run, they might be on an S tier level. But I think towards the end, the tag reign, the tag title reign that actually started at WrestleMania, which I was at, it just hasn't worked in a while. So we'll have to see. Of course, eventually we're going to get a heel turn from one of them, probably KO. But for now, I'm putting them in the A category along with their friends. Well, friends for Sammy, Jey Uso, and Cody Rhodes. Here we have the Judgment Day. Now, only pictured in this is Balor and Priest, but I would put Dom in there, even JD McDonough, as well as Rhea Ripley if we're talking about factions, because some of these guys are in factions on this list. So if we're talking Judgment Day, I mean, they're in the A category. They've been fantastic. I know there's so many memes about when you start talking the Judgment Day, basically comes in and attacks you or interrupts your promo. But I actually happen to be a big fan of Judgment Day. I think they've done really well. They just lost those tag belts. Stuff's happening. But if we're talking about currently and what they've done lately, the Judgment Day has to be in the A category. They've been phenomenal. They've been a big part of the WWE. So we got to put them in the A category. Oh, this one should be very interesting. And this is Imperium, of course, led by Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, Giovanni Vinci. This is a solid team. This is a real faction, and I know that there possibly could be a breakup in the future depending on what they do with Gunther and where he goes on the card. This is an amazing team, and I don't think it's any surprise that they're in the A category, because if you have Gunther in this faction, then you're A automatically. If it's just the other two, if it's just Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser, as Samantha Irvin would say, they're going to be in B or C. It's going to be like that. Like they're good. Imperium's fantastic, but they have to be a unit with Gunther in there. But they're A. It's easily in A. I would probably put them above most teams, maybe even the tag champs, because as a team, if you're counting all three of them, they've been on top. They've been doing big things, because that IC title is a major title because of what Gunther has been doing with it. So as a team, I've got them in the A category. The LWO is up next. They've got a big faction. I don't want to talk too much about them, because now they might have added even more people like Dragon Lee, potentially Carlito, as we've seen in that tag match. If you haven't seen Fastlane, that's a little bit of a spoiler, but eventually I think there's going to be some turmoil in here. Now adding Carlito, maybe they turn him heel, give him back his old theme, please, WWE. I would really like that. But Rey is the US champ. They've got some good stuff going on there. Zelina Vega's in there. They've got a great group. But for now, I'm going to be putting them in the B category. I think WWE has done well with them, and of course Rey has been helping build them up. I think there's more to come with the LWO. I think there's going to be some good stuff coming. There's going to be some heel stuff, some heel turns. Santos is probably going to be turning heel, I would think. So good for them. I'm very happy. I think that they're a good team, and I'm excited to see what the future holds for the LWO. Here is a team that I think has a ton of potential, and that's Pretty Deadly. I love their promo work. I think that they're very entertaining, but again, we haven't seen too much. I know there's been some injury stuff there, but Pretty Deadly is going to be a very good team for the WWE. But if we're talking currently, and we're talking about where they sit right now, I have to put them in the C category. Now, I know some people might be pissed about this, but I'm telling you right now, I'm a fan. I want them to be in the A category, and maybe at the end of their career, I want them to be in the S category. But we need to see more from them. I'm excited to see what they can do. I think they're going to be very good. I think they're going to be just fine in the WWE. But for now, I've got them in the C category. Next up is the Street Profits, and you could even add Bobby Lashley into there. If we're talking a faction, we might as well add Bobby in there. They've been doing some good stuff. That this heel turn was a little bit unexpected. I think a lot of people thought that Montez Ford would just go on his own and there'd be some heel turn stuff there. Angelo Dawkins is so damn good and like one of the most improved wrestlers on the roster. So they're definitely a very, very good team. And if you're adding Bobby Lashley, I think that they are an excellent faction. I'm going to put them in B. Now, I think some people might be upset about this. And again, that's why the comment section's there. I want to hear from you guys as well. But this is a team that I think has the potential to do a lot more than what they're doing. And this faction has the potential to do a lot more than what they're doing. And I'm ready for them to take that next step as heels. And I think Bobby Lashley is going to help them tremendously. They're a fantastic team. They're usually in the A category, but I want to put them in B right now because I think that there's still more to come. And if I do another one of these in a few months, I bet you that they'll be in that A category. So Street Profits, and if you add Bobby Lashley for the faction, this is a very good team. Next up, we got the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, and of course, Big E. Rest up. I want him to wrestle again one day, but he is not going to be a part of this tier list because I can't really say that he's part of the current team. But Xavier and Kofi are one of the greatest tag teams of all time, one of the greatest factions of all time with Big E in New Day. I would love to put them in S because I think they're going to go down as one of the greatest teams of all time. But for now, and the way that it's been going with injury trouble and stuff, they're in A, and that's incredible. If we're doing all time and just looking back at a whole catalog, I'm going to put them in S. This is one of the greatest tag teams of all time. I'm excited to see if they have a couple more title reigns because they just keep breaking records. They keep moving the goalposts. Like, this is one of the most impressive teams in the history of WWE. And right now, Xavier and Kofi are still doing stuff on TV. They're doing stuff individually when the other one's injured, unfortunately. Knock on wood that they stay healthy. But they also do a lot of good as a team, and they've been involved in big storylines. So I'm hoping for the best for them. I love when they're in the main event picture. I think that they handle themselves really well. Their matches, their promo work, it's always good. So this is an A tier team. Next is a faction because we've got the OC, Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, AJ Styles, and Michin, aka Mia Yim. Now, I'm probably going to get some hate for this, but I'm going to explain it as I do it here, okay? They're in C. AJ Styles by himself is like S tier, okay? AJ Styles is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, and I don't care what anybody says, that guy is on a lot of people's Mount Rushmore. Like, AJ is so gifted and so talented in the ring, but the OC has not worked. They got a pop when they returned, but like, I hate to say this is terrible, but like Mia Yim, Michin, like the OC stuff, like it's not working. It doesn't work. I don't like it. I want AJ to be by himself. I know AJ likes working with these guys. I'm sure it's a lot of fun, but if I'm just talking as a fan and what I'm seeing, AJ Styles on his own is much better, way, way, way more interesting. And I just hope that AJ can break off and do his own thing permanently because that's what I'd like to see. If before he retires, he wants to do one more thing with the OC, God, let him do it. I would love for him to have that. But for now, I need this guy to be on his own. And if we're talking about them as a faction, I need him in the C category. Last but not least is the Alpha Academy. You can have Maxine Dupree entered into this as well. But if we're talking about it right now, Chad Gable and Otis, this has been a great pairing. I love them. I'm smiling. I genuinely love the Alpha Academy. Eventually, we're going to have to see Chad Gable on his own, much like AJ in the OC. But I got to put them in A. Guys, like, they've been involved with Gunther. They've been involved in storylines. I think that this is a team that has done really well with what they've been given. The Maxine Dupree stuff was good. They're entertaining. They're funny. They put on good matches. Otis is underrated in the ring for his size. I think that he's very good. And, of course, Chad Gable being one of probably the top 10 best technical wrestlers in the world. Like, this guy deserves way more credit. I love them. I think they're great. But Again, I want to see Chad Gable eventually by himself, but for now, I've got them in A because the Alpha Academy is great. Thank you. Never thought I would do this on camera, but I do it at work all the time. Thank you. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video and you love my rankings, make sure to like this video and subscribe. If you want to see more of these videos, do the same. I'd love to hear you guys in the comments as well. Sound off down there. Tell me what you guys like, what you don't like. And if you want to put some wrestling stuff in there, you want to talk a little wrestling, talk some game with me, do so. It's your channel. This is your channel. It's my channel, but it's really your channel. So thank you guys for watching. That's what's good in wrestling. I'm Andrew, and I'll see you in the next video.